Good morning, students. Today I'm back with another topic from English grammar, which is prepositions. So prepositions is not a new word to you all, because we have been studying preposition since class 2 or 3. We know that prepositions are the word which indicate the position of the noun, okay, which indicate the position of the noun. But in spite of that, prepositions also indicate a relation of the noun or of any word with the other part of the sentence, okay. That also we have to keep in mind, right? So in the last class, when we talked about active and passive voice, the one recurring prepositions which we used throughout the class was by, 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 right? So whenever we used by, what we tried to do, we tried to indicate that some task has been done by a particular person. So to indicate that the doer of the task is a particular person, we used by in passive voice sentences, okay. So in addition to by, there are many other prepositions which you already know: in, on, at, okay, into, right? So all these are prepositions and there are much more. We will look into all these prepositions today. Also we will try to find out the difference between some important prepositions, like what is the difference between and among. When do we use between, when do we use among, when do we use beside, when do we use besides, right? So we'll try to find out the differences between all these prepositions gradually in today's class. So before we start, what did I tell you? That prepositions are position words, okay. The basic thing, initial thing which the prepositions try to indicate is that it tries to show us the position of something. Okay, so when we start studying, what we read, whether the pencil is in the box, on the table, below, under, above, over, okay, all these are very, very common prepositions which we use every day also, which we have been studying the usage since our early years, right? But today we will look at the types of prepositions, okay, on the basis of count, on the basis of some other basis of the prepositions are divided differently, right? So first let us look at the basis, on the basis of count, okay. So this is, I think, clear that prepositions try to give the position of a word, of a noun, or it tries to relate a noun or pronoun to the other part of a sentence. How is it doing that? Suppose I will say that I will sit in the library. I will sit in the library. So clearly, what is the preposition here? The preposition is in, right? So when I say I will sit, okay, I will sit, if I am saying itself, I will sit itself is a full sentence, okay. But when I am joining the phrase in the library, okay, it gives more information that where the person is going to sit, right? So in is the preposition here, and what is it trying to do? It is trying to relate the library, okay. This second part of the sentence, the library, is related to the first part of the sentence, okay. Why the first part and second part are related? Because we know that the person is going to sit in the library, right? So what the preposition is doing? Library is a noun, we know library is a noun, okay. So it is trying, this preposition is trying to relate the word library to the other parts of the sentence, other words in the sentence, right? So that is the function of the preposition. Other than deciding which position some object is, the noun is, it also tries to relate the noun with the other parts of the sentence, right? So that is a preposition. Okay, now let's come to the basis. What are the basis of preposition? On the basis of word count. Okay, so I told you in, on, at, these all are words, right? These all are words. So when we say in, on, at, above, over, into, upon, these all are one word preposition. Means if we count the number, these are only one words, right? So on the basis of count, some prepositions are one word, and this one word prepositions, we name it as simple preposition. We name it as simple preposition. The prepositions which have only one word, like in, for example, in, on, at, into, all this. Okay, so these are one word prepositions and we name it as simple prepositions, right? Okay, so some prepositions are there which are more than one word, right? More than one word means in front of, in spite of, okay, like these prepositions are also there, and these prepositions are called as complex preposition. Complex preposition. Okay, so in front of, in spite of, okay, many others are there that we will see. Okay, so this is clear, I think. Simple means one word prepositions and complex means more than one words. It could be 2, it could be 3, and it could be 4 as well, but generally we find 3 words are there in a complex prepositions generally, but it could be 2 as well and 4 as well, right? So simple and complex on the basis of word count. Simple means one word, complex means multiple words, right? So this is, I think, clear. Let's have a look at the video to understand more about the simple and complex preposition. So here we will watch the kinds of prepositions that I told you, simple and complex, all right? So this is a paragraph on a robbery on a mansion. Mansion is a huge home, huge house, okay? So huge property. So burglars broke into the Pickery mansion. Pickery is the name of the mansion and burglars means some kind of thieves. They broke into the mansion last night. They managed to steal jewelry worth rupees 5 lakh in spite of heavy security guarding the mansion. Okay, in spite of heavy security, they could rob. The owners raised an alarm at 5 a.m. but the burglars had escaped. The police have been on the premises looking for clues since morning. Okay, so what are the prepositions we'll try to locate? If we see here, into, okay, let's see.
Your time starts now.
Into is one preposition. In spite of, I gave in the example, in spite of, the owners raised an alarm at 5 a.m. but the burglars had escaped. The police have been on the premises looking for clues since morning. So I think these many prepositions are there in the paragraph, right?
Excellent. You have identified all the prepositions correctly. Ooh.
So now these all are the prepositions. Into the mansion, this is a preposition of motion. Okay, they went into the house. Okay, in spite of, again it is a preposition. At shows time. Okay, the police have been on the premises, place, right? And since morning, again talking about time, that since morning the police have been investigating on the robbery. Let's have a look on the types. I told you, simple and complex. Okay,
Let's learn the rules for identifying the various kinds of prepositions. Some prepositions consist of only one word. For instance, in this sentence, the preposition on consists of only one word. It is called a simple preposition.
so a monkey is sitting on your shoulder. So see, a boy is there and a monkey is sitting on his shoulder. So on, is showing where is the monkey sitting, the place, okay, it's on the shoulder. So on is a preposition of place and it is a simple preposition because it is only one word, right? So preposition, one word preposition, otherwise called as simple preposition. If we look at some more examples, I will meet you in the lobby at 5 p.m. Lobby is the lounge area in a hotel or the reception area in a hotel, right? So I will meet you in the lobby at 5 p.m. In the lobby, when he is saying in the lobby, it is talking about the place, okay? The lobby is the place. So in is again one simple preposition, one word preposition. Next, at 5 p.m. What is it talking about? The time, okay? At 5 p.m., at 10 o'clock. So at is again one simple preposition. Next, this factory has been manufacturing cars since 1941. So one factory is there and they are manufacturing cars since 1941, means from the year 1941, since 1941 they have been manufacturing cars, right? So for so many years they are manufacturing. Since is again one preposition and it is a simple prepositions, right? They consist of one word, okay? Next example, the ball went through the open window, okay? The ball went through the open window. So through is again a preposition of movement, but it is one word. So what do we call it? Those are simple prepositions, okay? One word or simple prepositions.
Some prepositions consist of more than one word. For instance, in this sentence, in front of is a preposition and consists of more than one word. Such prepositions are called complex or phrase prepositions.
So we are standing in front of the cafe. So okay, these mother-daughter duo, they are standing just in front of one cafe. So it is written we are standing in front of the cafe, means just in front, one place. It is suggesting one place. Again, this is a preposition suggesting place and it is not one word. How many words are there? In front of, 3 words are there. So whenever the preposition is of multiple words, more than one words, what do we call these prepositions? We call as complex prepositions. So this is one of the complex preposition, or otherwise we can call it phrase preposition, okay? Complex or phrase preposition. More than one word means complex or phrase prepositions. Let's have look on some more examples. Okay, here if you see, in spite of his best efforts, he could not complete the narration, okay? So this, the marathon, okay? So running race kind of. So in spite of his best efforts, what is the preposition? In spite of. What is the preposition here? In spite of, right? Multiple words again. On behalf of the school, I would like to offer you this gift. On behalf of, okay? Again 3 words. On behalf of the school, okay? You sometimes your parents say that you convey my wishes to them on behalf of my on behalf of me, you convey my wishes to them, okay? So on behalf of, again it is a preposition. You can take the chair next to the desk. Next to means beside, okay? Next to the desk, one chair is lying, you can take that one. So again these prepositions are 3 words, this is 2 words. So what do we call it? As complex or phrase prepositions, right? I hope this much is clear to you. Okay, when we know that complex and simple and complex prepositions, now we will go on to look at some more prepositions, okay? More types. So basically prepositions are a bunch of words, but we divide these prepositions based on time, sometimes based on place, sometimes based on movement. Okay, like the ball went through the window. Okay, through the window is showing us the movement, that someone threw the ball, one window was there and the ball went through the window. Movement, it is showing movement. Okay, when I told you the mother and daughter, they were standing in front, just in front of the cafe, means it shows place, right? And when I tell you I will meet you at 5 p.m. at 5 p.m. at, what is it showing? Place. Okay, so based on this, like this only, there are many prepositions of time, place and motion. So more the prepositions of time, what are they? First one, it is preposition of time. Okay, preposition of time. Second one is preposition of place, and the third one is preposition of motion. Motion, we can also call it movement. Okay, which shows some sort of movement, that we call as preposition of time, motion, preposition of movement or motion. So three types: time, one is time, place and motion or movement. I hope this is clear. Let's watch some videos and we will find out. Okay.
Prepositions of place show where something is located. For instance, here the exact location of the money is given through the use of the prepositions in and on. So here they are used as prepositions of place.
The money is in the purse. Okay, look at the first part of the sentence. The money is in the purse. So this is a purse or wallet, you can call. The money is inside the purse. So the money is in the purse. What is it showing? Again, it is talking about place. Where is the money? So I can say the money is in the purse. Okay, again I am talking about place. Look at the second part, which is on the desk. Now which, what is which? Which is showing that the purse, the wallet is on the desk. One table is there and the purse is on the table. Okay, so in and on both are showing some kind of place. Okay, place. In is showing that money is inside the wallet, and on is showing that the money, that the purse is on the desk. So these are prepositions of place. In the previous example, if you remember what we studied, that I will meet you in the lobby. I will meet you in the lobby. So lobby is, I told you, one reception area of a hotel or a lounge area. So that it is also talking about place. Okay, so in is there also in was talking about place. Here also same, it is talking about place. So these are called prepositions of place. Okay, let's have some more prepositions of place. Okay, if we look here, they used to live across the river. Okay, so where did they live? They used to live across the river. Again, what is it saying? That one river was passing by and they used to live across the river, on the other side of the river. Okay, so across is showing us again the place, that the other side of the river, no, on that shore they used to live. So this is also a preposition of place. Next example, a huge chandelier hung above the dining table. A huge chandelier hung above. Chandelier means the one we put the glittery lights, okay, the lamps or the hanging thing that we put above on the roof, right? That those are chandeliers for decorating the room in particular. So the huge chandelier hung above the dining table. So one dining table was kept, and on the above, on the roof part of the above the dining table, the chandelier hung. So again, this is showing where was the placement of the chandelier. Again, talking about the place. Above is talking about the placement of the chandelier. Next example, he is standing right in front of the cafe. Okay, in front of we have already seen. So this is also place, indicating place. So across, above, in front of are also some of the prepositions of place. Let's have some.
Position or location. The prepositions in and at denote place or position differently. The preposition in is used with enclosed spaces, while at is used with open spaces.
Okay, if we see here, the book is in the bag. Okay, so it is saying that it will talk about enclosed place. Okay, enclosed space, that means something which is closed. If I keep one pencil or pen in a box, it is a closed one. If I keep a book in a bag, bag is a closed area, closed one. Okay, so whenever we are talking about keeping a thing in a closed place, in a box, in a room, in a bag, right? So in that areas, in those areas, what we will use? We will use in. Okay, but when we are talking about an open space, okay, so he is standing at the bus stop. That means bus stop is an open place, it is not a closed area. But if I say he is sitting in the restaurant, that is right, in the restaurant, because restaurant is a closed area. But when I am saying he is sitting at the bus stop, why I am saying at? Because bus stop is not a closed area, it's an open area. So what is the difference is that in and at, they both denote place, but in will denote one closed space, but at will denote one open space, right? Okay, here also you see the school is in London. Okay, and next one, he lives at 55 Dungaree Street. So when he is saying at 55 Dungaree Street, what is it saying? At means a particular address. Okay, at particular address. So if I say the train arrived at the Bhimavaram station, okay, so Bhimavaram station is a particular place, Bhimavaram railway station, one particular space. So I am giving you one address. Like that, here one address is given, 55 Dungaree Street, one address of a house or a home. So when we are giving the address, we will use at. Okay, we will not use in, we will use at. But when we are talking about names of places or countries, if I say the multiplex is in Bhimavaram, so what am I saying? The multiplex is in Bhimavaram. Okay, so I am talking about the name of a town or a place, so I am using in there. Okay, so with names of countries and large towns, we use in. Here, London is a name of a country, so it is using in, right? So whenever we are talking about name of countries or large towns or cities, we will be using in. But when we are talking about a particular place, we use at. I hope this is clear. So for a bigger picture, bigger area, we use in. But when we talk about a small area of a big picture, then we use at, right? A particular area. I hope this is clear.
The prepositions beside and besides are used to express different meanings. The preposition beside shows the position of a person or an object as being next to something. On the other hand, besides is not a preposition of place. It denotes the idea.
Okay, so beside and besides, I told you we'll look at the difference. What is beside? The desk is beside the bed. Look at this picture. This is the bed, this is the desk. Okay, so I can say that I am standing beside the whiteboard, right? I am standing beside the whiteboard, means I am standing next to the whiteboard. Likewise, I can say the desk is next to the bed, or I can say the desk is beside the bed, means it is kept on the side to the bed, right? So beside means it denotes next to, position, placement. Okay, so beside means side to. Next one, the picture is beautiful besides being colorful. So what is the difference? Beside, no S is there. Okay, when there is no S, what do we call it as? Beside. Okay, both are preposition. Besides is also a preposition, beside is also a preposition, but the meanings are different, the spellings are also different. Okay, this we call it beside, this we call as besides. Besides. Okay, the picture is beautiful besides being colorful. Look at this picture, multiple colors are there, right? So, and this is beautiful as well. So what is it saying? That besides means in addition to, if I can say in addition to. So this picture is beautiful and this picture is colorful. So how will I say this picture is beautiful in addition to being colorful? That means I can use besides in place of in addition to, right? The picture is beautiful besides being colorful. Or I can say, oh, Mr. Roy is a very good singer besides being a doctor, right? Very good singer besides being a doctor means in addition to being a singer, Mr. Roy is also a doctor besides. Okay, in addition to denotes in addition to, right?
Similarly, the prepositions between and among are used in different situations. When referring to two people or things, the preposition between is usually used. However, when referring to more than two people or things, among is used.
So what we saw here, between and among. Okay, between we will use when we are talking about only two people. Okay, two students, two children, then we will use between. But when we are talking about more than two, what are we using? Among. Okay, among. And mind it, among does not have a U in it. A-M-O-N-G, that's the spelling. It's not A-M-O-U-N-G. That is the common mistake that you do. Okay, U is not there, it's just A-M-O-N-G, among. Your notebook should be lying somewhere among those books. So suppose your notebook is missing and your mother is saying that, you are asking your mother, where is my notebook? So your mother is saying that, oh, your notebook must be somewhere among those books. So wherever you are keeping all your books, okay, the notebook must be there among your books, means among the other books your notebooks must be there. But when I am saying I want the necklace between the two silver ones, okay, so one lady has gone to a jewelry shop. This is the jeweler, he is showing some pieces. Okay, how many pieces are you showing? Two, only two boxes are there, right? So this lady has to choose between these two boxes. So two boxes are there, she has to choose between these two boxes. I am not saying among two boxes, I am saying between two boxes, because only two are there. So whenever we are using for two people, we are using between. Okay, used for two people or things, people or things. If I say the mother divided the cake or distributed the cake her two children, between her two children, or between her children, that means she had two children. Okay, whenever two means we are using between. Among we will use when we are talking about more than two, it could be 3, it could be 5 or 6 or 10, right? So among and between, that is the major difference. Okay, so by now we have I think
Prepositions of time.
Okay, before we proceed to this, we discuss some of the prepositions of places. Okay, what do we discuss? First we talked about in, on, at. Okay, in, on, at, and we discussed where to use in, where to use at. In is used for countries, before names of countries, before names of big cities, big towns. Okay, we use in. And when we are talking about closed surface, okay, the book is in the bag, the pen is in the box, closed surface. But when we are using at, when we talk about something which is open, which is not an enclosed space but an open space, okay, we talk at, means he is standing at the bus stop, or I can say he is playing at the park, means park is the open area, right? And also we use at to talk about a particular address or a particular street or a particular place. Okay, so I told you the train arrived at Bhimavaram station. So I am talking about a particular place, I am using at, right? And on, you know, it is used for anything on the table, on the desk, right? On. Then what we talked about, so we talked about in, on, at. Okay, besides this, what we talked about? Beside and besides, right? What is the difference between beside and besides? Besides means in addition to, and beside means next to, side to something. Okay, next to. In besides this, what we talked about? In front of, above, across. These are also prepositions of places, right? Okay, next we will see some prepositions of time. What are the prepositions of time? Okay, already we have seen some.
Here, the preposition at tells us the exact time when the train arrived. So at is a preposition of time here. Here are some more.
Okay, I was awake till 2 a.m. last night. So see, before the time I am mentioning one preposition till. That means I was awake, I did not sleep till 2 a.m. until 2 a.m. That means till is showing a preposition which is a preposition of time. Let's wait for this decision until our next meeting. Until our next meeting, okay. It does not seem like no time has been mentioned here, okay, in particular, but it is showing us that our next meeting will be held somewhat in future. So until then, let's wait for the decision. Okay, so until is also a preposition of time. I will be busy from Monday to Wednesday. From Monday, so again Monday is a day of a week. Okay, so he is saying that from Monday I will be busy. Okay, so again it is talking about time, right?
Prepositions for and since denote time in different ways. The preposition for.
Okay, before we move on to preposition for and since, okay, there is one simple trick that we can use to remember the concept of for and since, because this is very confusing among students. When do we use for and when do we use since? Okay, let's come to the board. Okay, so if I say how do we denote time, there are two ways in which we denote time. Okay, either we talk about one particular point of time at 5 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, at 3 p.m. okay, or on Monday, on Tuesday, on Saturday, right, one particular point of time, or in the morning, in the afternoon. Okay, so whenever I'm saying this, whatever I said, I'm talking about one particular point of time. Okay, point of time, right? But the other way which I can use to talk about time is the length of time, the period of time. Okay, so I will say he has been sick or he has been not feeling well since Monday. So particular time I am talking about. Okay, so for 3 days, for 3 months, right? So 3 days, 3 months, for a week, for a year, right? So all these will tell us about a length of time. Length, okay, I am denoting this line, that means length of time, point of time and length of time. So now you know this. So point means at 5 p.m. on Thursday, on Monday, in the month of May, right? Point. Length means for 3 weeks, for a week, for a year, right? Length of time. Okay, so 2 hours, 1 week, 6 days. So whenever we are talking about point, what do we use? We use since. And when we are talking about length of time, we will use for. Okay, point of time, since. So I gave you one example. He has been sick, he has been unwell since Monday means since Monday. Today is Friday, okay, or Saturday or maybe someday. So he has been ill since Monday means I am saying that since Monday, from the day of Monday he has been ill, right? So point of time. Length of time, he has been sick for 3 days, for a week, okay. 3 days, week is length of time. There I am using for, and point of time I am using since. Come to the examples here. We have had this dog for 6 years. Now someone has a pet dog, and they have it for with them for 6 years or for 7 years or 7 months, okay. So here it is talking about the length of time, duration of time, the period of time. Understanding, whenever we are talking about length, remember the line. Whenever we are talking about length, we will use for. When we talk about a point, we use since. Length means for, point means we use since, okay. Look here, I have been trying to sell this car since 2009. Okay, now it's 2020, right? But he has been trying to sell his car, some old fashioned car, see, so old. So he has been trying to sell this car since 2009 and he has been unsuccessful, right? Since 2009, 2009 is one point of time, and for 6 years, 6 years is a duration, length of time. I hope this is clear, when to use for, when to use since, right? Let's come to the next one.
Prepositions at, in, on, and by denote time differently. The preposition at is used for an exact point of time. On the other hand, in is used for a period of time, and by denotes not later than.
Okay, so the gift will be delivered at 6 p.m. I told you at will be used for a particular place when we talk about place, address, or it will also talk about particular time at 5 p.m. at 10 o'clock, right? Particular time, then exact point of time. It usually rains in July, okay? It denotes a period of time. So in July, it usually rains, okay? Rainy season is there. Finish the work by evening, by evening. See, when we dealt about passive voice, that by preposition was used differently. Now it is used differently. Now it is used for denoting time, right? That we used to indicate the agent, the doer who has done the action. Here what we are doing, here we are trying to indicate time, okay? By evening, complete this work by Monday and submit. When I say, that means I have given you a time frame, one deadline, okay? You have to complete it up to like until this time, okay? By this time, right? I hope this is clear. At, in and by, how do we use it for time, right? Okay, let's look here. I will meet you on Monday, on Tuesday, okay? So these are used with dates, okay? Or if I say we celebrate the Independence Day on the 15th of August. So I am using a date, right? On 15th of August, on Monday. So whenever we are using for days and dates, we use the preposition on, right? For time, again, these are indicating time. I will meet you in Monday, we cannot say, that's wrong. In Monday, it's wrong. I will meet you at December 8. At December 8 also we cannot say. We have to use on with it, right? Okay, now we will be visiting our grandparents in October, okay? So in October, in July, I told you can be used with months or years. In our India got independence in the year 1947, right? So with year, with month, okay, I can use with in preposition, okay? Time. Chennai will be too hot in summer, okay? So Chennai will be too hot in summer, you better not plan for your vacation, right? So in summer, what is showing? I am using the preposition in to indicate again time, but one season, in winter, in summer, in rainy season, okay? So for season I am using for month or for the year, I can use in, right? So I hope this one is clear. Okay, look at this. How did he use? Okay, what mistakes we make in general. He woke up at 4 p.m. particular time, okay, but we sometimes they say he woke up on 4 p.m. in 4 a.m. That is not correct, okay, we have to use at. He woke up in the morning, okay, I told you in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon, right, in the rainy season, in the summer season, in 1947. Where are we using the preposition in? We cannot say he woke up at the morning, no, right? He woke up on the morning of April 16, okay. See, here I am using in, but here I am using on the morning, because there is a mention of date over here, that's why I am using on, right? But here there is no mention of date, it's only in the morning, so I am using in here, right? He wakes up early in April, so in the month of April he wakes up early, right? So we are using in, we should not use at, on and all this, okay? So there are perfect places where do we use in, on, at, all these prepositions.
Prepositions of motion show movement to or from a place. For instance, the preposition through denotes the movement of the dog through the door. Similarly, into and towards are also prepositions.
Okay, the dog trotted through the door, or before we saw one example, the ball was thrown out of the window, okay, or the ball went through the window. Okay, these are all prepositions of motion. Motion means it will indicate some kind of motion. You know that you are reading in physics, I think, motion, and that means movement, right? So some kind of movement, if it is being indicated, we are using the prepositions of place, through, into, towards, right? So he came towards me, that is preposition of movement. It went into the kitchen, I went into the kitchen, or he went into the classroom. I was running, I was chasing him, but he went into the classroom, okay? So into, again movement is there. The dog trotted through the window, okay, through the window, movement is there. So these are all preposition of motion or movement. This is the third type of our preposition. After time, place, this is preposition of movement, right?
While in and on denote position, into and upon denote motion. Here, the prepositions in and on denote the resting position of an object, while into and upon denote motion.
So what happened there is?
Prepositions of motion show movement to or from a place, while in and on denote position.
Okay, so preposition in and on and into and upon, these are different, okay? So in and on will only show us the preposition. When we saw in the money is in the wallet, kept on the table. So the purse is kept on the table and the money is in the purse, right? So it only showed us the place. No movement is showed, okay? It is stand still, okay? Stable. But when we see the cat climbed upon the window sill and slipped into the house, okay? Look at this picture. One window is there, the cat climbed upon it. Upon it means he climbed upon, one movement is there, and then he slipped into. Already I told you, into, enter into the classroom, okay? Into is also showing preposition of motion, okay? So in and on are totally different from upon and into, right? So I cannot say the cat climbed on the windowsill. I cannot say. I can say the cat was sitting on the windowsill, right? But I cannot say the cat climbed. Climb is an action. One motion is being described. So I have to say upon there, right?
Let's see how these different kinds of prepositions are used in conversation.
What a complicated map. I will never reach the hotel in time.
So we are looking at some of the application. The whole topic is now completed. Okay, preposition of time we saw, preposition of place we saw, and preposition of motion we saw. Okay, upon, into, towards, right? Preposition of place means in front of, above, across, on, right? In. These are preposition of place. And time also, at, in, on. We saw how we are using. By, right? So till, until, these all are prepositions of time. Let's see through some of these sentences and look at the application, how we are using it. Okay. What a complicated map. I will never reach the hotel in time. Preposition of time is denoted something happened, when something happened. Okay. I'll never reach the hotel in time means within the stipulated time I will not reach the hotel. Okay. That's why it is a preposition of time here.
Ah, I will ask this man walking along the pavement.
Okay. I will ask this man walking along the pavement. Someone is driving and is trying to reach to a particular destination. Okay. So he will ask a man the address walking along the pavement. So along is again showing preposition of motion. Someone is walking, making a walk, taking a walk, right? So walking along the pavement.
Hello, could you please guide me to Hotel Triumph?
See, hello, could you please guide me to Hotel Triumph? To Hotel Triumph. Hotel Triumph is a place. So to is a preposition of place. Okay. And plus it is a simple preposition because it is one word only. Right.
Sure. Take a left at the next crossroad and drive through a shady tree-lined street.
Take a left at the next crossroad, okay, and drive through a shady tree lined street. So drive through, its driving is again one motion. Okay, through is a preposition of motion. Take a left at the next, at is talking about a place. Okay, at the next turn you take a left turn, right?
Take a right when you see a crossroad with a sculpture of a horse in the middle of the road.
So take a right when you see a crossroad with a sculpture of a horse. Sculpture of a horse, the person is intended to take a right here. Okay, in the middle of the road. In the middle means it is saying the place. The road is continuing. In the middle of the road, one statue is placed there. So it is talking about the placement of the statue. That means it is a preposition of time, right?
You will soon approach an old bridge under repair. By the way, it has been under repair since 2011.
You will soon approach a bridge, old bridge which is under repair, and by the way it has been under repair since 2011. So the bridge is under repair, under maintenance. Okay, the maintenance has been taking place since 2011. Since 2011 I told you, when we are talking about a point of time, 2011 is a point of time. Okay, since 2011 the bridge has been under repair. That means if I want to say this sentence in terms of length of time, how will I say that the bridge has been under repair for 9 years. Okay, this is 2020. So for 9 years this bridge has been under repair. Getting how I am using length of time for, and for point of time I am using since, right?
Take the diversion, although that road has been damaged for several months too.
So I told for means length. I am using for several months. That means I am using for length of time, period of time.
When you see an open plot between two clumps of trees, pull into that space. They allow parking there on Saturdays and Sundays.
So many prepositions came up. See, between, okay, the place, it is talking about the place, okay, denotes a position in the middle of two other people or things. Between means two and among means more than two, I told you. Okay, into that space, preposition of motion, he entered into the classroom, I told you into. On, The preposition of time, on, is used with days and dates. So here it is used with day, Saturday, on 15th August, on Saturday, right?
Walk across the road and you will see Hotel Triumph beside the entrance to Enjoy Park.
Walk across the road, across the road. One preposition across can be also preposition of place and preposition of motion also. It depends how we are using. So when I told you in the example that they lived across the river, okay, that means they lived on the other side of the river. I am talking about place there. But here when I am saying walk across the road, walk is there, I am talking about a movement, right? Move across the road. So it is a preposition of motion, okay. And road, triumph, beside the entrance. So beside I told you, next to, okay, preposition of place, right?
Besides, you will be able to recognize the hotel easily because it is the tallest building among all the buildings in that area.
So besides, I told you in addition to, right? In addition to something. Building among, it is the tallest building among all the buildings, okay. So there are many buildings, not just two buildings, many buildings. So it is the tallest among the other buildings, right?
Thank you very much. I hope I reach the hotel by 6 o'clock. The conference is supposed to start at 6:30.
By and at. By means I told you one deadline will be there, stipulated time will be there. So when there you can use by. So by 6 o'clock. So you should be there by 6 o'clock. Means you cannot cross 6 o'clock. You should be there by 6 o'clock. Within 6 o'clock you should be there, right? There we can use by. At 6:30, particular time I am talking about. That's why at, preposition of time. Okay. So let's see at these questions and let's see if we can solve this, okay. So we have to identify the correct preposition from the given table and use them in the sentences given below, okay. So he decided to swim dash the river. So he decided to swim across the river, right? Across the river means he decided to cover the length of the river. The girl felt dizzy as she looked. What could be the preposition? I think it could be looked outside or it could be looked down. Okay, so I think down is more appropriate. If I say the girl felt dizzy as she looked down. Okay, so as she was looking down, she felt dizzy. So when the blood pressure is high, when you look down, you feel dizzy. Dizziness is there, okay, head reeling and dizziness. We passed dash the house in the evening. We passed dash the house in the evening. What can be the sense word here? We passed by the house, okay. Yes, we passed by the house we can use. When we were taking a walk, we passed by your house, like that we can use. A case was filed dash the men. Case was filed. Whenever you are filing a case, it has to be against someone. You cannot be in favor of the men. So it's easy. Which preposition is against there? Yes, against is there. So the answer is against. So a case was filed against the men. Okay. You can sit dash her for the match. You can sit dash her for the match. So sit, whenever we are talking about sitting, it is a preposition, has to be a preposition of place. What it could be? We can use beside here. You can sit beside her for the match. Okay, so beside her, next to her, you can sit next to her for the match. Okay, so these are few questions that we have done. So ultimately what we read in this today's class is how do we use prepositions, what is the application of prepositions, what are the types based on word count. Prepositions are simple and complex. Simple means one word preposition, complex means multiple word. It has to be more than one word, right? Then we talked about the types. Preposition of time, preposition of place and preposition of motion. Preposition of time we talked in, at, by, till, until, right? and preposition of place we talked across, right? In, on, these are all preposition of places. And then we talked about preposition of motion, that means through, okay, into, upon, that all that we talked, right? Then we also saw difference among the important preposition like beside and besides, okay? What is the difference between on, in, and upon and into, right? What is the difference between between and among? Between is used for two and among is used for more than two persons. So I hope this is clear, the prepositions topic is clear. Any doubts will be entertained if you mail us to our to our mail address. So thank you for today. We'll be we'll be taking some other topic in the next class. Thank you.